Welcome to Turtles Rising, a podcast where we are very excited about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I'm Nati.
I'm Em.
And we're still on hiatus.
Yes. We're still suffering the drought that has over into 2020. Happy New Year, everyone,
Happy New Year.
by the way.
Mm-hmm. It's been
Happy
already...
New Year.
We're almost 2 weeks into the new year already. We have taken a bit of a break with the podcasts over the holidays and New Year and other personal stuff that's been piling up. But we're back now with some new episodes, hopefully soon.
No, not new episodes. This week we're talking about Newsworthy and War and Pizza.
I mean, I was more referring to new episodes of the podcast, but yeah, that's true.
Oh, yeah, of the pod. For a bit there, I was hoping that you knew something I didn't and that we had new turtles, but we don't.
No updates from the creators yet, so no new episodes. We're still on hiatus. Sad.
Better hiatus than cancelled.
You don't say the bad C word.
Yes, there's the scary C word.
Yeah, the very scary C word. But yeah.
Conveniently, we didn't start this immediately as we started watching the episodes, giving us an enormous backlog of really good episodes that we can talk about. So yeah, this is not a blind viewing. If you have not seen these episodes, we are definitely going to talk about episodes that came after this. So this is not a spoiler-free look at these episodes. We are looking back on them now that we have finished season 1 and we are in season 2. So we are definitely going to mention plot twists and different things that have happened later on in the series. So if you are trying to watch along with us, then you're out of luck. And you should kind of catch up and then you can come back and listen to us, unless you just don't care about spoilers.
That's also fair. But yes, spoiler warning for this entire podcast.
Yeah, for now. We'll be up to date soon, and then it will just be spoilers for the new episodes, and we will know just as much as you.
Man, I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, I crave new episodes.
Same. Also, we did a poll whether or not we should review all the episodes or should just review the story important episodes. And a majority of you guys that voted for it chose for us to review all of the episodes, so that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, and we're working up the list now. We are at War and Pizza and Newsworthy. So we're gonna start with War and Pizza. And I really like this episode. I know that I say this about every episode, but I particularly like this one because Alberto, the animatronic robot monster character villain, is one of my favorite villains, hands down. If I had to organize them in some sort of ranking, he would definitely be probably number 1 or 2. It's all of the villains are really good, but I really like Alberto. I like his design and character and his premise, and the fact that he just kind of happened because of Donnie, and thusly is Donnie. I just like that dynamic, even though he came to life.
Also, admit that you just like the Five Nights at Freddy's aesthetics that Alberto's going.
Okay, I do love the Five Nights at Freddy's creepy animatronic look of his entire deal. The thing is that I used to be terrified of animatronic, deep-seated actual phobia from my childhood. And then Five Nights at Freddy's, the video game franchise where basically you're murdered by animatronics in a jump scare. It kind of desensitized to me. And now that horrifying fear that I managed to get over has become a sort of like a certain fascination or fondness for the aesthetics of it. So weird, creepy, evil animatronics that terrified me like 5 years ago are now one of my favorite things, and I do enjoy them. And I'm a fan for this evil pizzeria robot harassing turtles and trying to take over the world.
Interestingly, Alberto is probably one of my least favorite villains. I don't know, maybe it's because the entire animatronic goes evil trope is a little bit overused. Maybe it's the aesthetics, maybe it's the fact that Alberto has a very weird kind of racist German version of him that I take slight offense to. But I still think that Alberto is a cool villain. For me, he's not one of the most memorable villains of the show. I not exactly a fan of his. I think he's cool, and his entire ability and the fact that Donnie created him but absolutely refuses to accept this fact is hilarious to me. But if you would like ask me for a list, he would probably be on the lower tiers because he's just average for me.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Alberto, and this episode is basically the birth of Alberto. It's his birthday.
It literally
And
is his birthday.
so yeah, you go into this like really creepy. Okay, like if we're just stepping back and looking at this as a franchise that exists, it's like an animatronic pizzeria, Chuck E. Cheese, Five Nights at Freddy's hybrid somehow with this character that's Alberto.
I keep forgetting that he has hair tufts on both sides of his head. I keep always seeing only his face and the hat that he has. But then he has these hair tufts, and I always forget they exist on this character
Yeah, he
design.
also has a really nice mustache.
Yeah, that's true. I mean
And
that I don't forget, but yeah.
but yeah, I like that this is a franchise that exists in the universe. Like I enjoy this as a thing that exists and that the boys know about it. Like they knew it's a pizza place. They went there specifically when April called them and they started going after the pizza. And April works there, as she always did. In the earlier episodes, they definitely were going for like April has a new job every week kind of deal. And I also love that in this, her job title is party captain. And
Yeah.
if there is a better job title to have, I would like to hear it. I would love to have party captain as my title at work.
And apparently she
That's
hasn't
just
made it through to the happy birthday song so far.
Yeah, I'm confused how it has failed every time until this point. I mean, she says, "Oh no, not again," when the kids throw root beer at the robot and ruin it. But how often, if she has never managed to get through the happy birthday song and cake, what happened to all the other, like, how long has she been working there? 2 days, 3 days? How often has this robot broken down? Does she call Donnie every shift? Does she only work there Tuesdays? What's up? Also, I like that this child has gotten stuck in the claw machine.
Mm-hmm.
And later on, April tells Timmy, who's the birthday boy in this episode, that he has made a new friend, implying that this child did not come with Timmy. How long has this child been stuck in the claw machine?
I mean, in the credits, this child is credited as the Claw Machine Kid and is just like the manager and President Pepperoni, who will appear a little bit later in the episode, voiced by Eric Bauza, who also voices Splinter in this iteration. So.
I mean, the only thing that this child says is "I'm free" when he manages to get out of the claw machine, which implies that he's been in there for a while. And now I'm just concerned. Was he not there with Timmy? Has he been there all day? Is this she? She asks how you get in there. She's not surprised that he's in there. Is he always in there? Does he just live there? A cryptid, a true cryptid.
Yeah.
I also like that Cherry Tomato and President Pepperoni are like the bandmates because they're so vastly different looking characters.
Yeah.
One of them is horrifyingly pseudo-realistic and presidential, and the other
Yeah.
one is a tomato with really nice legs for some reason.
And nice lips and nice eyeshadow
Kind
and yeah.
About as sexualized as you can make a tomato without making it like a humanoid that's just red.
Yeah. I
Which is fine.
I like President Pepperoni though because it's basically just I guess President Lincoln with some
Yeah.
pepperoni dangling from his head. That's kind of clever.
Yeah. Also, he himself is a tube of pepperoni.
Yes. And
Which is
at some point,
Alright.
while the kids go wild after Alberto was destroyed, the kids stole his head.
yeah, that's a little bit terrifying.
Yeah.
Like they were running around because they were only behaving, I guess, because they were waiting for the robot show. Because the moment that the robot show stops being a thing, they go absolutely wild.
Yeah, like
The children
would.
freak the fuck out.
Yeah. I guess this is why I stay away from children because they go absolutely buck wild.
Yeah, I also April is reading Channel 6 news in this next screenshot. And like all of them are puns, of course, like delivery truck carrying fruit on expressway creates traffic jam, tortoise theft from pet store leaves owner shell shocked. all of that. Also, Channel 6 is where she used to work in like the 87
Mm-hmm.
in the previous iterations. So
It's a
that's
very interesting nod towards the old series. Only there for a second. This is right before she calls Donnie, right?
yeah, she is scrolling down to get to Donnie, which he has such a cute contact photo in her phone. It's just a cute little turtle with a purple bandana that looks slightly nervous.
It's
Also,
adorable.
7-8. It's 8 minutes past 7 where she
Yeah.
is.
Oh, there's the microwave,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah, that's the microwave robot. I didn't remember this robot. It's only there for approximately 2 frames. But this is one of the robots Donnie included in the season finale when he showed off all of his tech. I remember I was even in that podcast. You could go back to it if you, as a listener, care enough. But I specifically go like, where I don't remember this boxing glove microwave. Where is this boxing glove microwave from?
Mm-hmm.
We've seen all the other ones. This is where it's from. So
Don't
I was
think
happy.
it was
I
the
was happy
season
to see
finale
it.
though. I think it was the first episode of season 2.
Yeah, I mean they're all interconnected. But yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. That
Yeah.
was definitely yeah. That was after the sport thing happened, the sports stadium event.
Yeah. It was episode 1 of season 2 where they were Rav, Mikey, and Donnie were all trying to fight Shredder, and Leo and Splinter were in like Big Mama's entire Battle Nexus kind of thing.
Yeah. Basically, when Donnie uses all of his tech, he includes this guy, which
Mm-hmm.
implies that he remade him because he goes off screen and explodes.
Yeah.
Which means that Donnie probably remade him at some point.
But
Why? Why
maybe
did Donnie remake this microwave?
maybe that's what this microwave does. The boxing gloves are just there for show.
Honestly, that like it shoots lasers. What if this is a training robot of some kind that he specifically made to kick his brother's asses? Like this is a gift for Raph.
Or maybe
A
it was a
brother
trap.
punching machine.
Maybe it was
Yeah,
a
or
trap. Maybe they wanted to reheat pizza without him, and then they were
his
gonna
pizza
tag.
slices.
Yeah.
Yeah, because in a later episode or a previous episode, depending on where the listeners at, when Sheldon
Oh,
in
yeah.
Smart Lair, the Sheldon specifically says that these are Master Donatello slices and takes the cold unheated pizza over to Donnie, which means that Donnie eats less than his brothers, which makes sense considering his slender physique, and also that maybe this is what happens if you try to reheat pizza without Donnie's permission. The punishing microwave goes to punch you.
Yeah. I mean, I would not say that this is a thing that Donnie wouldn't do, so.
No, it perfectly fits in with his character. He would definitely specifically reprogram an evil microwave to punch his brothers in the face if they tried to reheat his personal pizza slices.
Yes. Also, this is the first time that we hear about Donnie's kind of phobia of beach balls.
Yeah, like it's at first it was just a throwaway joke. Like he says that if it includes bees and spiders and beach balls, please not beach balls. I just thought it was a throwaway joke, but it's a running gag. He is terrified of beach balls, and I love that.
What happened, Donnie? What happened?
Something, I'm pretty sure it's Mikey's fault. If it's
Yeah.
been foreshadowed that it is somehow Mikey's fault in that one postcard that we saw, it's probably a deep-seated phobia that's rooted from his childhood. Maybe he suffered some sort of beach ball trauma. I'm just waiting for the baby turtle beach episode.
Yeah, please, we need that.
Them just all at the beach being a little cute. I mean, like at some. Okay, see, here's the thing. Splinter is not super smart, and Luchitsu was not super smart. So if you had a bunch of baby turtles, wouldn't you take them to the ocean to see if they get to the water? And just put them down on their bellies and say, go, 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 I believe in you. And then make sure that seagulls don't murder them.
I would say that they're not sea turtles specifically, but you just emphasized that Splinter slash Luchitsu is not the smartest. So
must have been pretty rough. But if someone gave me mutated turtle babies and I had been a himbo for most of my life and like just been a movie star and had zero experience in raising small mutant turtle children, I would at least take him to the beach to see if they liked trying to get into the ocean by themselves.
Maybe. I mean, we can dream for the baby little beach episode.
Yeah, I like to imagine that either Mikey or Donnie gets snatched by a seagull and, and then Splinter freaks out and throws a rock at it. Yeah, like nature can take its course when something is this outside of nature's whole business.
Yeah. Also, pulling up the screenshot, can we just appreciate the creepy body parts that are just scattered around?
Yeah, the fact that the arms were this creepy to begin with, and that there's like organs spilling out of, I guess, his waist, like Alberto's waist. It kind of looks all organy, but Donnie's having fun reprogramming his butt. Like I don't know why, but Donnie's having a field day reprogramming Alberto's butt.
I love how
But the
naked his
torso-
head looks when he doesn't have his goggles.
Yeah, I also like how both this flesh skin head suit thing
Mm-hmm.
and the robot thing have the tooth.
Oh,
So
yeah.
the tooth has a bone in it, basically,
Yeah.
like a metal bone in it. Like you put the head on, and like the tooth slides into its slot.
Oh,
For some
yeah.
reason, that's just extra creepy to me.
Yeah, that's true. That's weird.
It's,
I'm
it's
gonna
just
go
extra creepy.
to the next one. Oh, yeah, with the cool sunglasses.
Yeah, of course, Donnie fixed him up good. It's 14.0. He upgraded his upgrade in the middle of the upgrade and gave him super cool glasses
Props
and
to
made
the
him.
props to the writers because Donnie's dialogue is always so on point and so hilarious.
Donnie is so funny. He is so funny. And in this episode, also, like, yeah, this whole thing is kind of his fault. I do like, though, how April does not blame Donnie at all at any given point in time. Like, she knew the moment that she called Donnie to come over to fix this, she knew that she was basically signing herself up for failure in some way, shape, or form. She was calling Donnie to fix the thing,
Yeah.
fix the robot. And then when everything goes ghost shit, then she doesn't like get mad at Donnie. She just kind of deals with the problem at hand. And I
Yeah.
think that's because she understands that you can't really ask Donnie to fix something and have it not go absolutely crazy.
Also,
I appreciate
what,
that.
what I appreciate is that here Alberto is still unscathed. Basically, he still has his nice little cartoon gloves. His face is all nice.
It's cute little rosy cheeks. They're so
Yes.
cute.
And his little bow is all tight.
His
And
curly mullet.
yeah, then he dazzles.
Yes, he can dazzle. I like that the thing on the guitar is shaped like a pizza slice.
Yeah, that's
And
clever.
also the guitar itself is also pizza slice. Honestly, the aesthetics that they go all the way with the pizza aesthetics in all of this, and I appreciate that.
If the artist can sneak in a visual pun, they will do it.
Yeah, like even a joke as like a tiny joke, they will grab that joke.
This is
Also, here we
terrifying.
can kind of see Alberto's creepy robot skeleton thing. When he gets zapped with electricity and his artificial intelligence goes way beyond the artificial thing, and he just becomes intelligent
And self-aware.
Well, yeah, self-aware. He didn't exactly become intelligent, but he's
Yeah.
not a dumb robot.
Yeah, no, but also not a smart one.
No, he's an averagely genius robot.
But yeah, here's the thing that I what I appreciate, because in the attack, April kind of slices off his arms, but only the fluffy skin, basically, because what
Skin
remains are his really creepy and really cool and well-designed robo arms, and his face also is half torn off. But the tooth remains. I guess the tooth skin was torn off.
Yeah, the tooth skin has been shed, but the tooth itself remains. Also, the artists are very good at their jobs, because I didn't notice before that the attention to detail here, they mirrored his face and the face tear.
Yeah.
I mean, of course they did. They're professionals, and it looks really good. I personally didn't think about that until like just now.
They are professionals and they give a shit.
Yes, the attention to detail is very good. They love this show.
Which I appreciate so much.
Yes, you can definitely tell that people who work on this show really love this show, because there's so much So much love put into this.
Mm-hmm.
Here, Raph has not really figured out his power jutsu. I mean, you can see flashes of it here and there in the episode, but he hasn't really figured out how it works properly.
Mm-hmm.
He did use it to save his brothers. He's fueled by love. Love is stored in the Raph.
Yep.
And it's like when the going gets tough and he really has to step up and save his brothers, he can activate his powers. It's like it comes from the heart.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that.
Yeah, it's adorable.
So he can't just do it if there's not too great a danger. He needs to come from deep inside his heart, his urge to protect.
Yeah.
I love that. See, Donnie made Alberto. Why did he give Alberto the power to reprogram other robots? See, that just seems like it. That just seems like a bad idea in general.
Yeah, I mean, why, Donnie? Why did you do this? Did
Why
you
did he do
plan
all
for
of
this?
this?
Or was this a feature that Alberto had from the start?
Why would it be that it couldn't handle root beer at a pizza
Yeah.
restaurant? Why would it be able, like, getting splashed with drinks in its giant gaping maw broke it? So
Yeah.
what? And apparently it breaks down all the time since April still hasn't gotten through the happy birthday song and cake. So why would it have this feature specifically? Like, you can connect to this thing with like weird jacks, but it can't handle getting a splash of root beer in the face.
It's probably one of the upgrades that he came up with in the middle of an upgrade.
Yeah, it probably has some super cool. Maybe he was supposed to turn the other robots sentient, and it was supposed to be like a fun, cool feature that Donnie was planning to make the whole band come alive. But then evil happened.
Apparently, a lot of his inventions.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of his inventions tend to go evil. I mean, that's just a side effect to genius, really.
That's true. But what I want to mention, I as an artist noticed this here. I see the highlight mistake on the left eye.
Oh yeah, on the eyelashes.
Yeah, the highlight goes over the eyelashes.
Gasp.
Oh no, mistake! Fix it in the Blu-ray version. That will hopefully
definitely be
Yeah, please. I need a Blu-ray version. The DVD version is so bad in its quality. Nickelodeon, what were you thinking?
It's an oof, honestly.
Yeah. But here are the cool villains.
Yeah.
Cool.
Like
air quotes.
See here, yeah, they're very cool and very scary and threatening. I'm a little bit upset that President Pepperoni and Cherry Tomato don't get to be recurring villains and it's only Alberto. But Alberto can be slightly terrifying. The other two really can't.
Yeah. Also, I like this show for knowing when to put the focus on what. And take away focus from things that are completely unnecessary. We see President Pepperoni and Cherry Tomato only for one more scene each. And that's completely enough because they're not important characters.
They carry the action and make there be a fight. And, like, honestly, that sets the tone for the other Alberto episode that we have, where he brings more Albertos to life. So there's plenty for each brother to fight.
Yeah.
Which is important.
Yeah, so
you need to have someone to fight for all of them.
Yeah, so I really just like that they keep it short and snappy, and they keep their focus on the important things.
Yeah, focus.
There's April with the birthday child. April being absolutely badass.
April's always badass.
And I appreciate that so much. I cannot speak for the 2003 or 2012 versions yet because I haven't seen those. But in really what makes me kind of stop watching the 87 version currently is because April isn't doing anything. She's a damsel, or she's there to tell the turtles where something's happening, and that's everything. But this April, she's just active. I mentioned this before, she's a member of the team. I like that she's allowed to be badass.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of this April. Also, I like that she gets to be the yellow one. It's nice. It completes a nice set. I enjoy that.
Yeah.
But yeah, she gets to be cool and she smacks a bowl, which is the game here. I like that this is like a weird, creepy arcade, and they managed to bring in more arcade equipment. Considering that I, as a poor, isolated Icelandic person, have never really seen a proper arcade ever.
Neither.
So there's just something about American arcades that is fascinating to me because it's so alien.
Same.
These big weird computers with their bright lights and you can just hit things really hard. It's so weird to me.
And then win tickets and get prizes with these tickets.
Yeah, I don't understand the whole tickets thing at all.
Like
Mikey got a lot of them. He's scoring 20 more tickets.
I only know the concept of arcades and tickets and stuff really from cartoons or TV shows, because in Germany we don't have arcades either.
It's a very American thing.
I mean, there are also arcades in Japan or so, but
Yeah.
it's not a very I don't think globally spread thing. You have arcades here in Germany. The kind of arcades that you have are only adult arcades with slot machines and stuff like that.
Yeah. It's just like that's a complete tangent, but it's just interesting. I like seeing it because it's such an alien setting to me.
Yeah, I agree.
And here we go. I found this joke, you guys. I found this joke. The coin says, "In crust we trust."
And it's a
This
President Pepperoni coin.
Yeah, that's 1984. This is actually, I think I went back and forth for a couple of frames. I think this entire scene where we see this coin, maybe a fraction of a second. It's like a frame or two. So this is a joke they put in there. No one's going to be able to look at this coin for long enough to actually appreciate the joke. That's why I paused it here so you could appreciate the joke with me. Look, I found the joke, you guys. Let's do a laugh. Ha ha.
Haha. You cannot see it, of course, but I did a present motion, like in those game shows
Yeah,
when
same.
when the pretty lady is standing in front and she does the presentation kind of gesture. That was what I was doing.
Oh yeah, I did it too. I like to imagine that we did it at the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
time, and it looked super cool to some weird
Amazing.
alien overlord.
Yes.
But yeah, the I also like the entire joke with this little vole man that goes like wah 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 wah. He goes back and forth on this bomb like a lot, and then they just throw him. Like the bomb doesn't really go anywhere. They like the other voles specifically throw him. Like they were giving it to the old man, letting him feel important. You know.
When I watched this for the first time, it was one of the first times ever that we watched the show in general. And this entire joke made me stare at the screen and then burst into laughter, because this is the kind of bullshit that I'm personally super weak to. It's random, it's unnecessary, it's stupid, and I love this joke. I still am laughing when I see this.
Yeah, it's just there. It's an extra. And also, I like that Cherry Tomato just has a bomb. Who gave her this bomb? Did this animatronic always have a bomb? Where did she get a bomb?
Good question.
She has a self-destruct function. Why does she have a self-destruct function? And then there's a dramatic zoom in on Donnie's face, and then he like scrambles out of the ball pit. Which I appreciate all of these terrifying to like cherry tomato heads right above the ball pit, so you can swim in red balls while the scary red ball lady stares down upon you.
Also, we hear for the first time what kind of type Donnie has.
It's like, you're so cute but so mean. Why do I always go for your type? And I'm just like, Donnie, sweetheart, this is no way to live. Please.
Yeah, please take care.
Yeah, please take good care. That you need a very specific kind of person to do that exact thing you like very well without anyone getting hurt.
And then Cherry Tomato just explodes on him.
Yeah, and then he says that he'll never eat ketchup again.
Yeah, which I mean, I kind of get. He's the absolute useless boss.
Oh yeah, no, I mean he's number one boss, right? And this whole thing is. Imagine how hard poor Leo's face must have hit the glass for that glass to break and everything.
It was actually his shell.
Oh, was it? I thought it was his face.
No, I think he fell in against the glass with his shell first.
But his face looked so funny, are you sure?
No, not anymore now.
Okay. But either way, Leo hit the glass really hard and cracked the wall.
And the boss doesn't notice it, just keeps snuggling his little trophy.
Yeah. This boss is absolutely useless. But I think that's kind of the joke. I do like his cool wraparound glasses, though.
Yeah.
Why does he have such long glasses? He has tiny eyes.
Yeah. Yeah.
They do lend a lot to his character, though.
Yeah. Absolutely. Character design as the show.
On point. I like also the attention to detail here is that you can still see the broken window on the far left.
Oh yeah.
You can see the window Leo hit on the far left there, like in the cracks in the wall and everything. I think this is probably the structural damage that brought down the entire restaurant because the entire thing comes crumbling at the end, and I was always just like, what happened to bring down the entire building? Oh, Leo did. Leo broke that wall. That must have been a very important wall.
Also, nice sense of location because in the back of Alberta here, there's the stage, and
Yes.
that is more shown and emphasized in later shots. But yeah, I just like it when shows also have that action going on, but also keep a kind of good sense of location.
Yeah, it feels a little bit like they had a map of the place and they decided where they all moved. Just feels nice.
This is such a hideous.
Yeah, I like that they included the tooth, but like the cake itself is absolutely disgusting.
I would not eat that. It's too gray for my taste.
Yeah, I was just about to say, like, I just like, unless it's a beautiful, smooth stone gray cake, I would never put something that's like 5 different shades of gray and brown like that in my mouth.
Yeah, no.
Like, I'm just saying, probably would not put
But
that in.
Donnie did a quick think, and he almost saved the
Yes.
situation.
Yeah, he was just like, "Hey, you want a birthday? We'll have a birthday for you." And we also almost redeemed Alberto as a character. Could have made him one of the family. Donnie's son, his beautiful son. Should have called Donnie father and been terrifying in the lair.
I'm kind of glad this did not happen.
I would have loved for this to happen. But yeah, then Alberta was so happy and there were happy bubbles and everything. I haven't seen happy bubbles since like 90s anime.
I like the oily tears he's crying.
Oh yeah. There's such beautiful, glimmering, oily tears just leaking from his one eye that isn't terrifying and Terminatory. And then they were gonna sing for Alberto and everything. Like, they almost saved the day. He was so happy. All Alberto really wanted was a birthday of his own.
Yeah, for Heezy Weezy.
For Meesy Weezy. Aw, felt a little bit bad for him in that moment.
But then April hit him on the head and finished the song.
April completely trashed the robot.
Yeah.
And then the entire place came down as they finished the birthday song, but they weren't really sure who to like give it to the birthday song. So they like Raph and Mikey and Leo were like, "Kids," because they didn't know Timmy's name.
Yeah.
And then Donnie just very hesitantly goes, "Oh, Alberto."
Yeah.
Technically, it was Alberto's birthday. And then the entire place comes crashing down, except conveniently the crane machine, which has the children still living inside, which is good.
I mean,
I'm glad Timmy survived.
Yeah. And Crane Machine Kid.
Yes. And then there's a terrifying. Timmy said it was his best birthday ever, so Timmy had fun. That's good.
Yeah.
He'll probably leave a good Yelp review.
Oh yeah.
And then we have Alberto doing a terrifying Terminator, I'll be back, who's not dead yet moment. His crushed head. Terrifying. I love it.
Very solid episode to introduce a new villain character.
Yeah.
Who has not appeared that often yet.
No, I mean, I also think that this is a very good way to like just create a villain, like make a villain in some way, shape, or form be like one of their fault. Like Donnie's, like they have a villain that's basically connected to Donnie. They have one that's more connected to Mikey with meat sweats. I like that there's just, like a slightly more complicated connection. It doesn't need to be like, "Oh, you are my responsibility" kind of thing. It's more like Mikey knows more about meat sweats because he used to watch him be Gordon Ramsay on TV.
I mean, yeah, you have a point there with a villain being kind of connected to each of the Turtle Boys, with Alberto being connected to Donnie, Meat Sweats, Mikey. Then we have the dentist dude now in season 2.
Yes.
With Raph.
Yeah, dentist dude. Yeah, dentist dude is definitely Raph's villain.
Leo?
Thing is, Leo is his own worst enemy. So,
Fair.
so like that's kind of. I mean, I guess Big Mama's the enemy.
I would maybe also go for Jupiter Tim, but Jupiter Tim was also for the others.
Jupiter Jim was just a really creepy, demented old man in an apartment building.
We will get to that when we get to the episode.
Yeah, like that was a terrifying episode.
Yeah.
That would make me very concerned for the boys.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But I think Big Mama would kind of be Leo's villain if we would basically have a connection. I mean, of course, they are all each other's villain, but to have one of them connected to each other specifically, like with them having like extra knowledge of that villain, I would say that it would be Leo, just considering the stuff we've seen in like season 2 and all that. The whole thing with Big Mama.
Yeah, that's true.
With Leo's interaction, just like the dentist was kind of established as having Raph as target, then I think Big Mama has a special extra grudge against Leo now because he managed to bamboozle her.
Maybe
in some way, shape, or form.
We haven't seen
I can think
anything.
of any other villain.
We haven't seen it yet because Ghost Bear also really isn't just Leo specific or
no,
Leo
but
caused.
he is a little bit more Leo Raph specific.
Yeah,
but
he's also Leo caused, kinda. But
yeah, Ghost Bear is kind of Leo's fault.
But then again, Ghost Bear is just a dude that really likes to mess with the turtles. If he would have just stayed inside during a snow day, he wouldn't even have mutated.
If he would have just put salt on his fucking steps and then gone inside to have a cocoa in his onesie, then none of that would have happened.
Yeah.
But that doesn't lend itself to good storytelling.
Yeah, that is true. You just need some conflict, I guess.
There is something to say that you can have a villain that is a wrestling, like a really cheapo cheater wrestler man that has a grudge because his wrestling career was ended by Leo, and then you can have a mutated wrestler / bear that is also a ghost.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a more interesting villain, in my opinion.
I mean,
we had really finished Ghost Bear as the wrestling man in, like, his potential as a villain had sort of been tapped, but now there's a whole new dimension to him now that he is also a mutant bear ghost man.
Yeah. Very convenient that he mutated in exactly the thing that his name stood for, but
yeah,
more to this when we review Snow Day?
I wonder what ghosts he touched.
I mean, he was wearing
ghosts he touched.
I mean, he was wearing his hood, his little bear hood.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. The bear DNA, I can get where that comes from, but the ghost thing, I narrow my eyes.
I mean, did meat sweats touch tentacles? It's his power.
No, yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, maybe it did touch tentacles, but we definitely knew he was touching some pork risotto, and then he punched people with it.
Yeah. Oh man, this screenshot. No.
Imagine if the dude who he had been hitting had turned into meat sweats and then eaten Gordon Ramsay and gone on a rampage because his cooking was unappreciated. Mm-hmm. That would have also been interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, I also want to edit something in here for for later. Just as a side thing because we completely.
Sorry. I just got distracted by Super Saiyan Todd.
It's fine.
All right. Next episode is Newsworthy. And this is also an episode where we get to meet a new villain. 2 new villains, actually. This is basically the first episode we ever see Warren Stone, their arch nemesis, and the Hypnopotamus. We get to meet them, but the episode starts with this. What is this super cool robot thingy that they're fighting? And why do we not get to see this fight? They're cheating on us, friend. They're cheating on us. They're having adventures without us.
I think it's really funny that we see this kind of stuff because this is the kind of things that earlier iterations were probably more about all of these random adventures where the Turtle Boys just fight some weird thing. Mutation or a robot. I don't know what it is. It's probably some Donnie's invention, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it's not purple and it doesn't really look like Donnie made it, but I could definitely believe that Donnie made it. And I also like that Donnie has a weapon here that's a drill, foreshadowing the fact that the drill is the ultimate weapon in the
Hmm.
series. Once it's out of beta, it's over for Shredder.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it starts off with this is basically how we meet Warren Stone. He gets crushed under Donnie's ass like the 10 seconds into the episode,
Not
and this
even.
just becomes a running not even 10 seconds. Like he talks about how he is their greatest nemesis, and the camera pans over to him, and then he just gets crushed by
Yeah.
Donnie, who's sent flying by a laser. And poor Warren Stone, this worm man, he gets crushed. I like these bowling pill villains. I would love to see this episode.
Yeah, I,
I
I
just
want to know how these bowling pins mutated.
Yeah, also I would love to see like this episode and the other one. Like think about making a show where like they talk about the time that they fought a bunch of different things, and one of them is this villain, and you can just see Warren Stone in the background for each of these, and
Yeah.
they don't even notice him. That
Yeah.
would be really funny if Warren Stone's like screaming in the background and they're just fighting bowling pins.
That would be fun, yeah.
Also, I like these bowling pins villains. They look kind of cute, but also terrifying.
Yeah, they remind me a bit of the silverfish.
Yes, maybe this is some sort of silverfish hybrid thingy. We don't
This
know.
is a bowling pin silverfish love child.
Yes, tells me a lot about the silverfish. Warren Stone, Warren Stone, beautiful face where he introduces himself. I like Warren. He's a really funny villain.
I love that he really came out of nowhere. I mean,
Yeah, he really did.
he just appears and claims to be their biggest villain, and
Yeah, also, he says that he hates the turtles more than anyone. Why?
I don't
What
know.
did they do to him?
He just
What?
appeared. We do not know how he mutated. We do not
I
know.
want his origin story.
Yeah, please.
I would love his. I mean, this is what he used to look like, and he used to work on Channel 6, I assume, as he used to be the world's #1 news anchor, and he had a massive chin
Oh yeah.
and definitely an ego. I mean, we know about it. He has beautiful hair. My theory, because
Ego,
we
yes.
see his apartment, he has a really shitty apartment. Like
He
his
does.
apartment is tiny and dirty and disgusting. And you see, my theory is how he mutated is that the last DNA he touched was definitely a worm, because you can see in the episode. I don't think I took a screenshot of that
No.
specifically.
Also, I love how we can get away with nudity because he's a worm.
Yeah, it's like if he was a person, he was just there, kind of naked and kissing the mirror. That would just be kind of sad and gross. I mean, it's
Yeah.
still sad and gross when he's a worm.
Yeah.
I'm proud of him for getting all the way up there. He can jump. He has mad ups.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's just also the Doug, the hippo that disappeared. Where did he go? By the way,
Mhm.
he's gone. I would love if Doug turned into some sort of mutant as well. But definitely Doug was the last animal that Mesmeron came into contact with, because yes, of course, duh. And the and I also love that the news anchor lady is just like, yes, the Mesmeron and his hippopotamus Doug has disappeared. Also, in a completely unrelated news, there's a hippopotamus in a magician's outfit terrorizing the city. It's like, yes, completely unrelated news.
Oh, the people of the city are so stupid.
They are.
It's amazing.
I love it. It's amazing. I also like that they are trying to catch this one. Like, he goes around stealing magicians' animals. That's apparently what he's doing that's wrong. His reign of terror is stealing the magician's animals, and without the animals, there is no magic. And a bunch of children and one grown-ass man is crying. Where is he taking all these animals?
Yeah, good
What is
question.
he doing to the animals? Where is he taking them? What is he? Is he trying to sabotage the other magicians, or is he? We know that he's kind of looking for Doug, but he also talks about how it's the worst mating season, and he has just been terrorizing magicians' animals. Like, what is he trying to do?
I'm
What is
confused.
his entire thing? He has literally, like, this is breaking news. So I'm assuming that he has been mutated for less than a day at this point, right?
Yeah.
And he goes around stealing magicians' animals. And we're like, he's looking for Doug. We know that because in a later episode, he talks about how he's been separated from Doug and it breaks his heart. I think Doug just fucking run away from him. He's a weirdo.
Maybe.
But I hope Doug is safe
Yeah,
wherever
same.
he is now.
Same.
But yeah, I don't understand what his whole steez is. So the boys dress up as a hippo to go and try to lure him out. And like with that female hippo scent. I love that. I love that
This
entire plan. Flawless plan.
this scene always, and when I watched Rise of the TMNT for the very first time, the entire background aesthetics and the art style already made me think a lot of this game. But this scene in particular always makes me think of the Sly Cooper series because of the hippo and one of the characters in Sly Cooper, Murray, I think was his name.
Yes.
He's a hippo, and the entire ninja jumping around, and then the music and the colors and the city skyline kind of thing. It always makes me think of Sly Cooper, and I appreciate the show for this as well because I love Sly Cooper, and the art style of Rise always reminds me a lot of this game series.
The background art is so nice. There's like splotches of grainy all over like the buildings and then the dark shadows. And it helps a lot with breaking up like the harsh black solid shadows. It's so nice. The background art in the show is always on point. It's gorgeous.
I love the mixture of the animation style, of course, with comic style.
Yes. Lends itself really well to this because this could all be frames from a comic book, really.
Each single screenshot.
Yeah, especially the backgrounds. But yeah, like Mikey and Raph both want to be in the hippo suit, which is cute. I enjoy that. I like that Raph's pointy shell is stabbing out of the. It's a very pointy hippo. He's got spikes. He's a spiky hippo, but he doesn't. The leader wears the suit apparently, so I've never heard that, but that just sounds like a rule that Raph made up so he can wear the suit.
Also sounds like a rule that an older sibling would just make up.
Yeah. That like the oldest one gets to wear the suit as an older sibling. I totally understand. This sounds definitely like an older sibling thing.
And then Leo is being rude, just saying that Raph definitely is the hippoest of them all.
That's so mean.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then the beautiful female hippo. So where did Donnie get this?
How?
He just has hippo pheromones laying around. Such a beautiful glass too. It's just it's like, did they break into a zoo to get this? I mean, Raph likes to get the lady hippo smooch. It's very cute.
It's so cute.
Says it's
I love his face.
Jassy fresh.
It's so cute. Yeah, the entire this entire scene, I love it because it's so funny how Warren Stone tries to be so cool and an influential villain, and they don't care at all. And Mikey in the background is just playing around, being a cute little boy.
Yeah, Warren Stone's like a really funny villain because he's trying so hard to be a villain. He really is not. And there's, if anything, they're just more confused by him than anything else.
Excuse me, Warren who?
Also, if there's like a magic talking worm, no, that's wrong. And then he takes off his glasses and he's like, I am only a talking worm. The magic was a ruse. And it's like, I don't think that the magic thing is the most important thing about you, Warren. I don't think that your lie was really that important.
He looks a little bit like Waluigi here.
Yeah, he does look a lot. Now that you mention it, I think it's the nose.
Yeah, and the mustache.
It's definitely the nose and the general evilness,
Yeah.
but also the general incompetentness.
Yeah, probably.
You know, both evil and useless and trying a little bit too hard, but also kind of charming. Yeah, it's a very Waluigi vibe. And then Leo cuts him in two.
So unnecessary. He tossed him up in the air and then he takes his sword and cuts him in half. And
yeah, he said that it was because he panicked, which, yeah, fair.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm just a little bit concerned because when Warren Stone jumps on Leo, he says, "I might be small, but I'm also," and then Leo interrupts him and cuts him in two and basically murders him, but he can regenerate, so it's okay, I guess. This is also, I think, the goriest the show has ever gotten. It's like,
Yeah.
I know it's cartoon gore. There's no blood, but it's a worm. You had to take this joke because you could. I want to know what else Warren was going to say he was. He was small, but because I can't think of anything that he's good at. He's not stealthy. He's not strong. He's not cunning or anything. Like, honestly, I can't imagine what he was going to say about himself other than he was small.
Mikey is just casually strangling Raph here.
Good. It's a good screenshot.
Oh yeah.
It's a little bit of some brother murder and some fratricide happening here. And then we have Clem, which is a very interesting character in my opinion. Clem has a 24-hour candy store.
Not suspicious at all.
Yeah, if there's anything that's more suspicious than a 24-hour candy store specifically, like 24-hour stores are fine. You can eat toilet paper and buy a bag of chips on the same time when you're playing a video game at 3 a.m. That's fine. But a 24-hour candy specific store is just a really suspicious thing. And if this had just been a 24-hour candy store and not like a cover up for magical artifacts / drugs, then I would have been more shocked. But he just sells weapons, candy,
and
weapons and
an
armor.
instrument?
His password is wink.
Oh, such a good password.
You're just supposed to say the password. Oh, wink. All right, wink. Yep, that's the password. And you're just like, Yeah, we have an instrument and we have Thor's hammer. We have a hand with 2 fingers up.
I still want to know where Warren got the metal leggies from.
Yeah, he had really long metal legs.
His insider was, who he got his inside knowledge from. And B, I think it's super interesting that apparently a yokai here is on the surface selling some weapons.
I mean, the Doom Dome that they had, the murder rally thing and the car derby in one of the other episodes, that was on the surface too.
Yeah, true.
And that was just there. And they just called it the Doom Dome. And there were only yokai in the audience. And that was not hidden at all.
Yeah.
So there's apparently a yokai
community.
A yokai community, a secret yokai community that just doesn't have to hide at all on the surface.
I mean, he does kind of hide since he uses his hat, which is apparently a magic hat that disguises him as a human.
I love magic hat. I'd like one.
Wait, is this a hand in the background?
Yeah, it's a hand with 2 fingers up, and there's also Mjolnir, Thor's hammer.
Yeah.
On the or a hammer, large chunky warhammer, and a tome and everything.
Just big war horn tuba ?
Yeah, I mean the background artist definitely had a field day with putting cool looking stuff in here.
And the hand that confuses me. Also, is this a fetus in a glass? This is a Death Stranding reference.
No, I don't think it's a Death Stranding reference. That is not BB. But I also like that you can see all of this, and then at the very right corner is just stacks of lollipops.
Yeah, so it does sell weapons with candy.
I wonder, Clem's Candy, open 24 hours. This is such a suspicious store.
Wait, is this a Hamilton? Is this a Hamilton sign to the left? I recognize the star.
Hey, it is Hamilton. They're showing Hamilton. Oh, I hadn't noticed that. That's amazing. I hope that the boys can go see Hamilton at some point.
Yeah,
here we have them
nicely color coded. That's super cute to make them stand out.
Yeah, they are enormously large, though.
I mean, stylization.
Yeah. Also, if they were true to size, we wouldn't see them.
Yeah,
it would be very small. But yeah, the beautiful background art, and then I like that when they're jumping down here, the lights that. They all land, and then when Raph lands, the lights rattle because he's so heavy.
Yeah.
So it's just cute. It's an added detail that really brings, pun intended, weight to Raph.
Yeah.
He really feels much heavier than the others because everything he does basically rattles when he jumps on it.
Yeah, also he's big, he's strong, and he's also not very what is the word? I'm not even sure.
Graceful.
Graceful, that's the word.
He's a little bit like a truck with legs.
Yes. That kind of captures his essence.
Yeah, he's a turtle truck.
Yeah.
Also, I like that these two silhouettes in the foreground, they kind of remind me of, because I'm attempting to watch with you the 87. At least the one on the right looks a little bit like Vernon, the really annoying asshole.
And the one on the left reminds me of the boss of Channel 6.
This might be a homage, or this might be a coinkydink, but I do like them there because I can see ideas. I also think that the helicopter and everything, I mean, this is like a Channel 6 museum or a news museum. They call it the Burgundy Center. I don't really have an idea of what the target audience for this museum is. Or is this where they actually record the news?
I think this is probably more like a museum or something.
Yeah.
I don't remember what current occupants said.
There was a giant mutant hippo outside the Burgundy Center.
Okay.
So I don't know if that means that this is a museum or they just have a lot of money, so they levitate helicopters from the ceiling in this studio.
Maybe.
I don't know.
But yeah,
I mean, considering there's a bunch of velvet rope and stuff in the background, I'm just assuming that this is some sort of news museum.
I mean, the vehicle in the background reminds me a teeny tiny bit of the vehicle that they turned to the turtle van in 87.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
It does.
Maybe. But yeah, here is Warren Stone presenting his nip-nops.
Yes, his man packs and his large nipples. And his tiny hands. Like, basically, so what are you telling me is that this blue crystal thing is yokai steroids?
Turns him into Earthworm Jim.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Basically, honestly, yes. This is Earthworm Jim, except Earthworm Jim was a worm in a suit. He is naked.
Yeah.
He's extremely naked, actually.
Yeah,
now that I think about it.
Disturbed me so much when it's
disturbingly naked.
Yeah, I know, right? This disturbed me so much when I saw it for the first time. First of all, there's the shot where he does the slow clap, the dramatic villain clap, turns around and you have your face full with nipples, and then just zooms out and he's just naked, and I'm like, I'm basically the boys.
Yeah, that, like, I mean, they capture my mood exactly. The thing is that they also go like, oh, what are you? And then Donnie starts measuring him. I guess in the earlier episodes, considering how excited he was about meeting Meat Sweats and like what he could do, his mutant abilities and stuff, Donnie was super into figuring out the deal behind mutants, because he also asks like, how long does the regeneration process take? He takes a bunch of notes and stuff. Like, in the earlier episodes, Donnie was super into figuring out the deal behind all these yokai.
Mm-hmm. He's just a very curious boy.
Yeah, I mean, he also documents it for science, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
The Warren Stone being super naked on a table, though, is slightly distressing.
Also, it's such a Donnie thing to stand with his knees turned inside.
Yes, he usually stands like that. It's very cute. He has so much leg. He needs to somehow steady himself.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then we get, okay, so here's another thing that we didn't know first in this episode. It's funny that these two characters are introduced together, considering that I think we never see Warren without Hypnopotamus. Like, Hypno and Warren they're a thing. They're roommates slash best friends slash it's complicated slash boyfriends in future episodes. They're introduced together. And they are also, so, like, in the Evil League of Villains, they're there. They're together in most episodes.
Yeah, they're not in Evil League of Mutants. They're not together, but they are both present for the battle. But there's not a lot of interaction going on between them at this point. But
I think Warren's sitting on Hypno's head.
I can't remember right now. I'm more aware of Hypno and Warren sitting in a tree.
I mean, that's the one where we get to figure out that they live together and are boyfriends.
Yes.
but yeah, without being rude about it, the thing is that, okay, so don't want to be mean, but the whole mutation thing was a big glow up for Hypno. He became like, okay, let me finish before this gets weird. I need to. He became more attractive when he became a mutant than he was before.
Yeah, I mean, before he was a little bit of a hamster man.
Yeah, he was a little bit like he didn't really shower, but like he looked a little bit neckbeardy kind of. But without getting like mean into it, like I don't know him. He probably was a decent person, I guess. The the whole Warren Stone was definitely at least a traditionally attractive scale of like an 8, and he became a worm man.
Yes, he did.
Without this whole mutant thing, these two would never have met at a bar and then went home to make fun of game show contestants together.
Yeah. That's the
Like
thing they
this
do.
is a little bit of a weird, twisted love story of fate kind of deal. These two would never have really gotten to know each other without the whole mutation thing and being evil. I mean, I guess they always had that in common, or maybe that's like a thing that happens when you're mutated. I don't know.
That's what happens when you start wearing purple.
Don't call out Donnie like that.
Yeah.
Also,
yeah.
but I mean, the only reason why we know that this is definitely Mesmeron after touching Doug a lot, turning into a Hippo Man mutant. And I mean, he definitely feels better. Like his self confidence went way up. Like I'm just saying, he's probably always been a furry. But the thing is that the reason why we know that this isn't Doug being mutated after touching Mesmeron a lot is because he talks about like looking for Doug in a later episode.
What I
He
also think is interesting about his character design is, I'm gonna go back a screenshot, is that as a human, he was very bottom heavy. But
Yes.
as a mutant, they changed this to being very top heavy.
Yes.
They turned the shape basically around. So that's very interesting.
Yes. Still has tiny legs though.
Yeah, but as a human, he had a tiny torso.
Yes. Then he greets Mikey in the hippopotamus disguise as future Mrs. Hypnopotamus. He has been hippo mutant for probably a day. He's already decided to marry this random hippo.
Yeah, also it's the worst mating season. How many mating seasons have you been a part of?
Yeah, he says this has been the worst mating season.
I'm just saying, he's a weird character.
Yeah, I think that maybe this is what he truly wanted all along, and now he's finally happy.
He can finally be a fairy.
Yeah. Also, the fact that he like, okay, so your first ever mating season has been a thing for maybe 12 hours, and you already decided that it's bad. Imagine if humans did that. It's like you've been in like it's been 12 hours since you hit puberty and you haven't married yet. Shit, worst mating season, man.
Yeah.
It's rough. But yeah, I also like that all three of them have different reactions to Hypnopotamus basically smooching the suit, because Mikey joins them later and he's bragging about how he's a better hippo than Raph is. And like Raph is crying because he thinks love is beautiful, and Leo's grossed out by this whole thing, and Donnie, he just nods. Is this because your plan worked out, or are you just like, this makes sense to me? I don't know why Donnie's just nodding.
Who knows? He's just okay with it. He's just content.
He's so hourglassy in this frame.
Yeah, he is.
The way he stands, and his shell bends inwards, and then his hips are so far out. I love his shape.
Yeah.
So dynamic.
There he is again with his knees bent inwards. It's such a Donnie thing.
Yeah, and here's Raph. The second time Raph is comes for the jewels, they get the discs thrown at them and they dodge, and then Raph is very concerned for his jewels.
I love how shocked they all look.
Yeah,
like, are you okay?
Yeah, and like they're all like, ooh, and then Raph, he's like, I'm okay, and then they all breathe a sigh of relief. All like collectively, they all go like, ah, in the next scene.
Yeah,
and like wipe their foreheads in relief. Like, what?
Let's just continue to the next.
Yeah. And then they all get hypnotized and somehow freeze in midair.
I love how their expression is basically the same, except for Donnie, who clenches his teeth.
I like that hypnotizing someone to stop also works when they're in midair.
Yeah.
Like he makes them stop, so they just levitate. Man, I'm so for Hypno now that I think about it. He got everything he wanted. He can finally be happy.
The shot is really cool, actually.
Yes.
Despite Leo's embarrassing pose. But from the composition, it's a really cool shot.
Yeah, I mean, Warren's tits do kind of draw your attention. Like, the line
Yeah.
just points you towards the action. It's a beautiful composition.
Also, I love that the worm kind of thing around Warren's neck looks like a choker.
Yeah.
At least
it does
when
look
he
like a choker.
when he does in this form that he has. But yeah, he's just like,
It always looks like a choker.
You should fight me. I'm your biggest enemy. And then he does this cool move when he's being attacked, and it's just like, whoa.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah,
Like
he
he's
saves
like,
Mikey.
yeah, he looks at them and he's like, oh, what a bad enemy. He doesn't even know their names. I don't think you know their names either,
Yeah.
Warren. And then he looks at a trophy of himself and sees his own reflection in it. And then I was like, ooh, is he gonna be a good guy? But no, he's like, no one kills them but me. And it's like, oh. And then then he pulls a JoJo and stops like a thing with his pompadour.
Yeah.
It's like anime. It's such anime.
Yeah,
and then he introduces himself as Warren Bad Boy Stone. And I'm just like, ooh, that's cool. And then his pompadour flops in two.
Yeah, but he fixes it immediately, and I think he's super cool.
He is cool here. And then him just like, who are you?
I like the line that he says, ha, I'm laughing.
Yeah, it's like, ha. Yes, he does laugh once at Warren. I can't believe that then these two go on to live together.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I love that character development. So good. It wasn't the worst mating season. He did meet someone that night.
Yeah, he did.
It just took a few months, I guess.
Got his ass kicked by the same person.
Warren definitely left an impression. He did kick Hypno's ass.
Also, once again, attention to background details, because this camera earlier was the camera that Mikey did the dance in front of in his costume.
Oh yeah.
And there it is again.
Oh yeah. Did they design the entire museum? I hope. I'd love to go to this
mad
museum.
Respect to the artists.
And the background artist is good.
Yeah.
And then Warren deflates after pulling out his crystal steroid thing.
Yeah, and he has saggy titties.
Yeah, and then his tits are saggy, which is completely fine, I guess. It just makes me so very aware that he's naked.
Yeah, it's so bad.
I mean, I know that he was never wearing pants. This is like a Donald Duck thing. Like you know that he's never wearing pants, but the moment that he takes his shirt off, you're like, oh my god, he's naked.
Yeah, it's the same thing with Repo Mantis.
Yeah, Repo doesn't wear any pants.
Or the fact that the boys are supposed to not be wearing shorts, but these are shadows, and I'm just like, no.
No. These have to be shorts. Raph cares too much about his jewels to be freeballing it.
Yeah.
It's just like character-wise, it doesn't make sense. The boys would be commando. They'd just be freeballing it randomly, and Raph wearing some sort of compressors on his thighs. I'm just saying, it doesn't make sense in universe and lore-wise.
I agree.
Also, why would Splinter allow his teenage boys to go outside with no pants or underwear on? I'm just saying.
While he is wearing underwear.
Yeah, he wears underwear and a robe. Why would he not teach his children to wear underwear?
Exactly.
We know that he dressed Donnie up as a child.
Yeah.
So why would he not teach them to wear underwear? They wore diapers at some point. And then it's like, yes, now you don't need diapers anymore. And then took the diapers off and they were just running around freeballing it. I'm just saying, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I completely agree with that.
Does not make sense lore-wise.
Yeah.
Just I have very strong opinions about this.
Same.
You can disagree, but my logic is infallible.
Also, in this episode, because I haven't mentioned the voice actors yet, apparently Eric Bauza voiced several characters in this episode again. He voiced Clem, NYPD, Blonde Boy, and Distraught Man.
Distraught Man.
To the credits. And Warren Stone is voiced by John Michael Higgins. and Hypnopotamus by Reese Darby. Thumbs up.
Amazing. Good job. I really like Warren Hypno's voice actors. Hypno's
Mhm.
voice actor is really good.
Yeah.
I don't know, like there's something about his voice and his design that goes so perfectly together because they're both kind of gentlemanly, but he's also just such a ludicrous character.
I like the way how he speaks, pronounces words. He's
Downey Drencha.
yeah. I just like that in this show they also add a lot of accents. It's fun to listen to.
Yeah.
Except for Alberto, German Alberto. I'm so mad.
We'll talk about that one when we get to it.
Yes,
and then
I
you
have
can yell about
opinions.
yeah, you can share your opinions about the German stereotype Alberto Bear.
Yes, I will. I definitely will. But yeah,
Good.
I think
We will set aside 5 whole minutes for your rants then.
good. But yeah, I think that was it for today's podcast. We've gone through the episodes. We actually ended up talking more about them than I anticipated first.
Yeah.
But I guess we just really love the show.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's also. I guess I love the show.
Yeah, man, I guess.
I mean, it's like how could you tell? But honestly though, like, I hadn't watched these episodes for a while. So when we watched right before recording this and we like rewatched them on the iTunes and like I was just reminded again. I was hit by this wave of overwhelming like, oh god, I love this show.
Yeah, it's just really good. And I tried. Trying. I haven't given up quite yet to watch 87, but I watched a lot of 87 and then some Rise again, and it really felt like finding an oasis in the desert.
Yeah, it's like we can watch like 5 or 6 87 and then like 1 or 2 Rise to just get back into it.
Yeah.
It's like a pit stop in
Yeah.
a marathon.
Yeah, but I really hope that we're gonna get new episodes soon. I mean, I'm okay with waiting. I'm okay with hiatus. I have been I was one of those people that watched Steven Universe when it came out and when it had episodes coming out and had the Steven bombs and all that. I am very patient, so I would not want to rush any creator or whatever. But I just really love the show, and I hope we're gonna get at least a couple new episodes very soon.
I would love also a thing we were going to mention is that you, all of you, can go and tell Netflix that you would like Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to be put on Netflix.
Yes.
You can request these things. We know that Nickelodeon and Netflix are apparently working together on Rise of the TMNT movie. So I personally think that it makes perfect sense that the show would be put on Netflix, which would make it so much easier for me as an individual to force all of my friends to watch the show.
Same.
So, and then it makes sense because then it would have a more worldwide appeal. People from other countries than America would be able to freely watch and binge this show. And then the toys would sell better, I guess. Nickelodeon, just fucking do it. And, like more people would enjoy it, which would mean, I guess, more money somehow.
Not to throw any shade, but the fact that Nickelodeon makes it so incredibly hard for anyone to watch the show makes reruns at 3 a.m. at night and all of this stuff. I don't get it. And I'm not okay with Nickelodeon doing this. So I'm gonna throw in a link into the description of this video for you to go and request Rise of the TMNT on Netflix. And you can also request other shows that you would like to see there.
I asked for Invader Sim as well.
Yeah, so that would be great since the movie is on Netflix.
Yes, the Invader Sim movie is on Netflix. It's a great movie, by the way. And they have that, so why not put the Invader Sim episodes on Netflix as well? Mm-hmm. Nick, please?
Would be a good start. Not to throw any shade.
Yeah, I mean, it would. If you're not going to make it easy for people to watch your things, then let people watch it on their own terms.
It would make the entire thing so much easier for a lot of people because many people are forced to just, what is the word again? Pirate. Yeah, the word is pirate.
Yes.
The show because they cannot get it otherwise.
It is like we had to jump through a lot of hoops. We bought our episodes on iTunes. We legally purchased them, but we had to go some weird backflips to be able to give our money to the creators of the show. Like we
Yes.
want to financially support them, but considering that it's really hard to buy the toys outside of America and like all the toys. And it's also just a little bit difficult to watch the show legally if you're not in America. Putting the actual show on Netflix, for example, you don't even have to put it on Netflix for America. You could put it on Netflix for the rest of the world, for example. You can do that specifically and then let other people in other countries watch it legally so they can enjoy it, buy the toys, and raise the hype and raise the awareness. And finally, the show will get the recognition that it deserves. And also, I can let it loop in the background on Netflix.
Same.
While I do other shit.
So yeah,
Yay!
go and tell Netflix that you want Rise of the TMNT on the network. It probably will help to make them aware of the thing.
I mean, it will at least give them the idea. Then some executive can be like, oh, this is my idea. It makes sense to have the show on there so we can sell toys outside of America. And also, the movie's going to be on there anyway. So why not put the episodes on there like a month before the movie drops or something? And then some other executive is like, what a great idea, Harold. Here, have a raise. And then Harold goes and buys a second yacht or something, and then we can have titles.
I mean, I have a lot of opinions about Nickelodeon's treatment of Rise of the TMNT, but I think we mentioned that this would be an extra episode.
Yeah.
Eventually.
We're going to have to rant about that at some point.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I think we can wrap the podcast up here. We've talked a bunch.
Yep.
Oh yeah, fan art. If you have fan art, there's another link in the description. Where you can submit your fan art so we can look at this again next time. This was not a live viewing, so we're not showing any fan art here right now. But next time, probably we will bring up some fan art again. And other than that, just follow, subscribe to the channel, and to not miss any episodes. And other than that, I think we're done here. Right?
We're back, baby! We'll see you next week.
See you guys. Bye.
Bye!